Hi, my name is Lois, I'm the founder of Twiggy Tags, and today we're going to be doing a fitting video on our Martingale collar. Now, if you've never seen a Martingale collar before, this is something that I love to use for training purposes, as well as dogs who are possibly a little bit of a flight risk. I'll explain a little bit more when it's on and why it works so well, but first let's do a fitting. Let's work out how it's meant to sit, how it's meant to be used, and how you can make sure that it is the correct size for your dog. So this is a Martingale collar. Now, as are very easy to tell the difference between where the dog's head goes and where the tightening section is, because you've got the dog's head goes between the pattern and the webbing, and the tightening section is the webbing only. Let's put the dog's head through here. The most important part is that when you're measuring for a martingale, which is the widest point of the head, which includes these ear bones here, that this has to fit over the top. There is no buckle on a martingale. So the widest point, the reference on the size guide, it has to be able to go over your dog's head. So let's put it on William, like so. Now, once it's on, it looks absolutely massive. It's sitting in the wrong place and it isn't fitted right. So with every martingale, once it's over your dog's head, you do have to adjust it. The reason why martingales are so good, William is not necessarily the best example, is when the dog's head and neck are very similar in size. This means that a standard collar, they would usually slip out of. So a martingale works in their favour in that it tightens just up around here behind the ears to ensure that they're safe and can't slip out of the collar. Let me adjust this and I'll show you what I mean by that. Ignoring this part for a moment and pretend that it is just part of the normal collar, you're going to want to adjust the martingale size down. We, like any other collar, are looking for around a 2-finger gap, and that is it. Possibly even the 1-finger gap area. Now, even then, you've seen how much I've managed to tighten that. Now it's over the dog's head, and how much extra material has now gone folded over because I've tightened it, just by looking at the difference between the adjuster and the tag clip here. You can see here, no matter where it sits on the neck, it is flat. This webbing section is also flat. It's not gaping, it's not dropping down, and it sits flat against the dog's neck. But you've still got a 2-finger gap that I can fit my fingers underneath, so it's still comfortable without any drooping with the D-ring. The way that the martingale works is when the lead is secured, this section tightens, making sure that the dog cannot slip out of the collar. Now, it's not going anywhere over William's head, but on a dog that perhaps isn't as solid as William, it also wouldn't be able to slip over their head as this section tightens. Now, one of the really important things when fitting this collar is that these two pieces of hardware never touch. I don't want them even to come close to touching. The maximum they should be close to is leaving about this much gap. This means that the collar is fitted effectively. It means that at no point it's got to the point where it is too tight or too loose and the dog's head is able to come out of it. But in terms of where it sits, most collars sit around here. William's neckline here is a really nice pinpoint to show you where it should be sitting. It should be sitting slightly further up the neck. This is because where your collar sits, a normal collar, not a martingale, is far too close to the pressure point on the dog's trachea, and you want it to stay away from here, which is why it's going further up the neck. I even could tighten this slightly, but given that William is a dog model, it is slightly different, but you want it to sit around here, and that's going to give you a really nice piece of safety equipment, keeping your dog safe, making sure they can't slip out of the collar, and making sure that the fit is correct and you're not damaging or injuring your dog. You'll notice with a martingale, it is much wider than a standard collar. So I expect William to wear perhaps a 25mm or a 30mm collar, but this is a 50mm collar. This enables to distribute the weight a lot more around his neck. It doesn't give one specific pressure point around the gentle area that is the neck. Especially as he is a slightly bigger breed, these are great for whippets and greyhounds where they do have that slightly noodle-shaped head, as I affectionately like to call it. The reason I love to use this for training as well is that you can add that gentle bit of pressure without damaging anything on the dog. Combined with the use of a harness and a double-ended lead, you can distribute that pressure really nicely in order to control your dog. The martingale comes in multiple sizes, so we have everything from the extra small all the way up to the extra large, and they vary in width as you go up. So they're not all this one width. We start at 25mm and we actually go up to a 60mm webbing for our giant breeds. Now, On the reverse, to get this off, you will need to loosen it back up again, because in order to get it back over the head, they will need it at their loosest setting. We're going to work backwards. We've loosened the collar off, and then we are just going to take it over William's head, stubborn though he is, because he is a dog model and not a real dog, over the head like that. Now, I do love a martingale. For those nervous dogs, the ones who are slight escape risk, it is a perfect tool to add to your collection.